Hello everyone. I started recording a video yesterday and I really didn't get to finish it. All it is a clip of a couple clips of where the location of the gas station that my parents had ran when I was a kid. So you get to see that, and then the elementary school where I went to kindergarten, and I went to part of one of my first grade year there. In the video I'll explain something really quick. Is when I talk about my parents, or with my two brothers living with my dad, and my sister and I living with my mom. That's when my parents had split up, and my sister and I ended up in Lincoln with my mom, and my two older brothers, they lived in Omaha with my dad. So I didn't do any texting or writing so you understood that, and I didn't explain myself when I was recording, but that was the case. Me and my sister, we were younger too, we went with my mom, and the two older boys went to dad. Anyways, I'll let you watch the rest of this video. Well, hello everyone. I'm down here at Pisgah, Iowa, down where that gas station was that my parents had ran with the gumball machine incident. So I'm going to turn this camera around and show you exactly where the station used to be. It's no longer there. It's just a grassy yard with a flagpole and a couple trees. Right here is where the gas station used to be. Here's one drive where you'd go in, and there's a drive where you'd come out, or you go in this way and come out this way, either way. And there was two bays. There's a bay on this side, so you drive in, you could drive right in the bay on the south side, or you could drive in here and go into the bay on the north side if you had to have your car worked on. But that's where the gas station used to sit, right there in that yard. A lot of memories right there. I'm going to take you uptown where the schoolhouse is, where I went to kindergarten and part of my first grade year. Okay, here's the Pisgah School. This is where I went to kindergarten and part of first grade. I moved away after kindergarten, and we moved to Lincoln. My sister and my mom and I lived in Lincoln, and my two older brothers and my dad lived in Omaha. They lived with my dad, and my sister and I. For the two younger children, we lived with my mom. But during my first grade year, we ended up moving back to this area. I actually lived with my grandma, which she didn't live too far from Pisgah. She had a Mondayman address. Well, we lived with her for part of my first grade year, and I went to first grade here after being in two different schools in Lincoln for first grade, and then eventually ended up at Westwood School, the school I graduated with. But if you go in these front doors, there's a doorway right to the left there when you go in. You go up them steps, and right across the hall, slightly to the right, there was a door, and that was the kindergarten room. And right here by this tree that's growing up, it's a maple tree I think, in front of the windows, that window right there, that was the first grade room right there. I think that little window right there was like a hallway or a cloakroom, same way there, they come off of that classroom there. So it's kindergarten, first grade, and I think this might have been a second grade room, and then the upper grades up above. But that little walkway, or that part of the building goes over there. There's a hallway. It went down into a kitchen. You had to go downstairs to go into the kitchen on that back side. And this is the gymnasium. The gymnasium roof's fallen in. It's all rotted. I'm not sure where the guy that owns this building, there's still power on. You come by at night, the lights will be on in here, and they say it's haunted, and they actually have a video on YouTube. They have a video on YouTube, a guy's in there investigating it, those paranormal people, and they claim that that's haunted, that if you go in there during the day you hear kids screaming and stuff. But like I said, I haven't been in there since it's closed down. A lot of the windows are broken and falling out, but the building's probably still fairly structural sound. Just somebody needs to go in there and redo it, make it into apartments or something. Hate to see these old buildings fall apart like that, but it would be kind of cool to go in and check it all out. I thought I'd just share this with you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and give you a little insight, part of my childhood. I'll see y'all later, and don't forget I love you. Bye.